It is a great honor for me to introduce and welcome the chairman of organizing committee, Shri Anil Bhandari ji, a leading professional of the hotel, travel and tourism industry, having 52 years experience in managing and operating hotels, travel companies. Presently, he is the chairman of AB Smart Concepts Private Limited. He has held many top positions, including Managing Director, India Tourism Development Corporation, and Advisor, ITC Limited Hotels, Travel, Tourism, Managing Director, Hotel Corporation of India, among others. He has served on the executive and advisory committees of government bodies like FIACCI, PATA, TAI. He is also on the board member list of Ansel Marriott Hotel, Le Méridien Chennai, Coimbatore Hotels, Nikko Metropolitan Hotels. He was also a member of Hoteliers Association, National Tourism Advisory Council, Indian Culinary Institute. He has received a large number of prestigious awards and honors like PSDCCI, Ethics is Good Business, Golden Peacock, Lifetime Achievement Award from Punjab Government, Hoteliers India's Lifetime, among several others. He has authored many books and written several articles in his career spread over more than 5 decades. Sir, we welcome you and request you to please bless us with your words. Shri Anil Bhandari ji.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Prem Ram. Namaskar to everybody. My dear Chef Thomas Gugler, guest of honor and the keynote speaker, Chef Davinder Kumar, Chef Prem Ram, Chef Parminder Bali, Chef Vineet Minocha, Chef Kashi Vishwanath, Chef Ranjit Pandey and Salil Fadnis. My dear participants and friends from the media, I have been promoting Namaste for a long time. I'm very happy to see that all my fellow colleagues, those who started before me, started their session with saying Namaste, which is a new normal now. And the most hygienic way of greeting. I wish we all promote this in a big way and the world should accept the best way of greeting. I would warmly welcome you all to this webinar organized by the Indian Culinary Forum. This commences with the celebration of the 17th Chef Award, as well as the 8th Chef's Knowledge Summit. At the outset, I wish to express my appreciation for all those chefs who came forward to cook for the food for the poor, homeless, and needy people, as well as for the doctors and the frontline warriors during the lockdown period of the COVID crisis. The dedication and compassion shown by them is a matter of pride for the entire community. Friends, the COVID-19 outbreak has triggered a crisis unprecedented in nature and the scale and unlikely anything that we have seen in our lifetime. It is also evident that the turmoil created by the coronavirus will take a long time to settle down. We don't know. Every day things are changing. It evolves. We see today the lockdown has opened and next day it has been, again, the lockdown has been enforced. It has happened in London. It has happened in New York. It has happened in Tokyo. It's so evolving. It's keep on changing every day. So one needs to be prepared for all the eventualities as we see it coming to us. In this backdrop, today we decided that we should hold a webinar on the most important issue before us, that is the food and beverage opportunities and challenges in the new normal. We have all the expert chefs with us who will be sharing their knowledge with all of you. And the topics which they will be talking about today or discussing will be issues and concerns of food and production and service in the new normal, promoting Indian traditional food to the world as an immunity builder, kitchen of the future post-COVID-19, new opportunities in food business, and new paradigm of education. Friends, the food and beverage industry post-COVID-19 will change drastically. Henceforth, the three major factors governing the food and beverage business will be sanitation, hygiene, and social distancing. Our kitchens will have to be sterilized. They have to work like the hospital operation theaters, absolutely neat, clean, everything is disinfected. The entire raw material which we receive in kitchens will have to be cleaned and disinfected before use. We have to be very, very careful from where this material is coming, what is the source of the material, and how it is being transported, and how we need to store. So with a lot of precautions we need to take in this business. The entire raw material will have to be cleaned, disinfected before use. Gloves and masks have already become a part of the uniform. The seating in the restaurants will have to conform to the new normal of social distancing. The protocols given by the central government, state governments, and by the FSSAI will have to be strictly followed. The staff will have to be regrouped because most of the people had gone and they have gone to their own villages. So friends, we have to regroup the entire staff, motivate, train them, and especially on the new SOPs, new protocols which have come up, maintaining the sanitation and hygiene. Medical fitness of the staff will be most important thing which we need to take care of. I would suggest that each one of the members of staff in this food industry should have the Aarogya Setu app for their own safety and safety of their colleagues and the safety of their establishment. In the food and beverage industry, there are new opportunities which we can see which have emerged now. In the way of, we see that semi-cooked food, ready-to-eat food, this business is expanding in a big way. Dairy products, new ice creams, milkshakes are coming up with new flavors and new way of packaging. The packaging and the canned food industry is growing at leaps and bounds. People are buying in large quantities. Food delivery business in India is estimated to be now US $2.9 billion. This was the figure which IMRAC had given in the month of April. It's such a huge business that people, instead of visiting restaurants, are asking for food to come to their offices or to their homes. The restaurant owners have a bigger challenge in the future. They have to do their cash management. I suggest they should spend very wisely and avoid expenditures on frills. They spend only where it is absolutely essential or required. Suggest always keep also cash reserves because you don't know when the eventuality comes. Today, your restaurant is operating very well and you find 3 or 4 members of your staff got infected, you may have to close down and you have to restart. So it is better to keep some cash reserves that if you have to again restart your restaurant. Well, all this will also change the guest preferences. The future of the customers will demand absolutely contactless service. We have to smile from our eyes because we are masked, and we have to greet with a warm welcome with our folded hands. And people will prefer to have a contactless absolutely service. And new technology which can help us in doing is something like QR code menus have come up. One of the colleagues from the Pusa Institute had come out with this My Menu, name of the company is My Menu. They have invented this QR code menus. So where they are contactless, I mean, your menu can immediately, when you go to the QR code, comes on your mobile phone of the guest, and he can see all the dishes, their description. They can see the entire photographs of the dish also. They can also see what are the nutritional values in case this have been fed into the entire menu. So they can see everything. Friend, dependency on technology, gadgetry, and processes will increase to substitute the manual handling and operations. So technology is going to play a very major role. What happens in the future, we can see that the buffet meals will not be welcomed by people because there is a risk of food getting infected by so many people touching it, so many people standing in front of it, maybe somebody coughs, so the droplets may come from his mouth. So buffet meals will not be welcomed. Farm to plate food will be always preferred. Local produce and ingredients will be preferred over the imported items. People say go local. Because imported food, you never know how it has been packed, how many days it has taken. Because in the way during this COVID issue, you can see it is taking longer time to import food. The food continues to lie in the bonded warehouses. It is on the either in the transit, so it is very difficult. Yeah, so it is always advisable that we should use the local food products where we are very sure that what is being given to is absolutely hygienic and clean. Guests will be more comfortable with open live kitchens because they can walk through and they can see everything how it is being cooked. Service in pre-plated individual portions will be welcome, like salads, if they are pre-portioned and put in small cups, the dessert which are put in small cups, they'll be much more welcome. No passing of dishes on to one another will be encouraged. Means when you put in dogas and serve on a table, people will not prefer that everybody takes from the same doga some portion. That will not be appreciated by the guests. Takeaway restaurant and cloud kitchens will be vogue instead of sit-down restaurants. Indian cuisine is likely to become more popular as it is nutritious and it has a lot of therapeutic values. I personally feel that it is a great opportunity for Ministry of Tourism to promote the Indian cuisine across the world. The benefit of Indian herbs and spices and immunity building should be made through the talk shows. The Ministry of Tourism should also go onto the foreign TV shows and demonstrate how the food is being cooked. We also, as part of the Chef Award this year, are showcasing live demonstration online of the immunity building recipes prepared by our renowned chefs. They will use local ingredients and explain you about the nutritional benefits of each ingredient put in the dish. This will be starting from tomorrow, as Chef Davinder has said, will go until 23rd of October. The cookery demonstrations will start from tomorrow and continue till the 23rd of October. This is being led by Chef Gautam Chatterjee, with a leading team of chefs which will giving the cookery demonstrations. We would also request if Doordarshan can telecast and demonstrate regularly these recipes in future. The COVID-19 pandemic has left restaurant industry bleeding with an estimated loss of over 1.5 crore in the last 180 days. A big loss. The sector is also witnessing a closure of about 30% of the restaurant across India. And in the past, with the rest 70%, the drop in business is around 60 to 70%. The business in restaurant, not more than 30 to 40% which are open. Friends, in these difficult times, what we should do? Let us all collaborate and pool our talent and efforts to save our industry from recession. I am optimistic that we can overcome all odds and determination and concentrated efforts not only survive but also thrive in the years to follow. Thank you very much. Namaskar. Thanks for listening very patiently. Over to Dr. Prem Rao.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your enlightened words.